1 p.m.
Sugar boom boom, I'm chasing dragons. This dragon's got my hand. Sugar boom boom, out robbing people, but I'm an honest man. Let me tell you straight up, homie, this story's not rehearsed.
Hello! West Alameda! It's after 6 o'clock. It's time to give a shout out. Thank you to all the frontline, the essential workers, to the doctors, the nurses, the longshoremen, the bus drivers, the truck drivers, the farm workers, those who work in the stores, the restaurants, the hotels, the counselors, school workers, teachers, parents. So please, you hear my voice? Would you clap your hands, honk your horns, shout, make some noise? Thank you, bro. Appreciate what you do. Yes, sir. Thank you, frontline workers. Thank you. What's going on, y'all? How's everybody doing? So, here we go. This is day 449 as of June 23rd, 2021. There have been 3,910,863 people have died from coronavirus. Right here in the United States, 618,244. You look over at the black, yesterday was what it was yesterday. You can see the difference. Yeah, it's a lot, y'all. And you look at the green, and that's what it was a year ago, April 2020. So, first of all, I want to ask everybody, please keep in your prayers and your thoughts all those who have died from coronavirus, all the victims. And also, I would like to ask for you to keep in your prayers and your thoughts a young man by the name of Latrell. He's the son of Sherry Morton. I don't know his last name or anything, but I know Sherry Morton, and so, you know, she would appreciate any prayers and thoughts for those of you who don't pray for her son, Latrell. I also want to ask all of you to keep in your prayers and thoughts all those who have been killed, all those who have been murdered, all those who have died because of thugs, drug dealers, the Ku Klux Klan, the Nazis, the police, the FBI, gangbangers, law enforcement, rebels, vigilantes, road rage, the co-workers, you know, the terrorists.
Sugar boom boom, I'm chasing dragons. This dragon's got my hand.
Terrorists, domestic violence, ethnic genocide, white supremacists, those who die because of somebody else's stupidity, person who just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time and got killed because somebody was drunk driving or somebody was high or somebody stole a car or whatever it was and trying to run from the police and end up killing an innocent person. So ask all of you to keep them in your prayers and your thoughts. And as always, I ask you to remember Ronald Green, murdered by the Louisiana State Police on May the 10th, 2019. So birthday shout out. Today is Brenda Benson, Brenda DeBose Benson, AC Transit retiree. Brenda, happy birthday to you. And happy birthday to you, Roger Payne. On historical birthday, Wilma Rudolph. She was born in St. Bethlehem, Tennessee on June 23rd, 1940. She was an African-American sprinter, an Olympic champion in 1956 and 1960. She won 3 gold medals in 1 Olympic game. She was a pioneer for women and civil rights. She died on November the 12th, 1994 from cancer. She died at Brentwood, Tennessee. Oh, I had the camera all wrong. My bad, y'all. So let me show you better like that. Wilma Rudolph. I was a bad sister. And she died from cancer. Okay, Bahala Na. Let me get closer up here for y'all. Bahala Na, Washington, D.C. The first person was convicted for participating in the January 6th insurrection, the riot that they had at the Capitol. Her name was Anna Lloyd, 49 years old, and she was sentenced to 3 years probation. Wow. A $500 fine and community service for what she did in the thing. And they also said that she got up there and she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I never should have done it. And I apologize." Yeah, right. For 3 years probation and a $500 fine and some community service. Yeah, I guess you could apologize. Come on. I don't care what anybody tells me. If it was one of us, we would definitely get more than 3 years probation. For real? 3 years probation? Whatever, man. Michigan. So, we've been going through all this whole thing with Donald Duck sitting up here talking about everything was fraud and how all these states, cheated him and all this other crap. So the Republican, let me say that again, Republican GOP Senate in Michigan, they put out a report that debunked. I guess another word for debunk is just saying that all that crap about claims of fraud in the 2020 election wasn't nothing but a damn lie. So I guess that was debunk me. You debunk it. I don't never use that word debunk. I don't even know how you would use the word in a sentence. I just took this off of YouTube where it say debunk. So the Republican GOP Senate report debunk. They debunk all claims of fraud in the 2020 election. Okay, you debunker. I don't know. But yeah, do you think that's going to make a difference for the Trump supporters? They're still going to believe that they got cheated. They're not going to care about what the Republican GOP Senate in Michigan has to say. They're probably going to call them traitors to Trumpism, whatever, man. I ain't trip on that. Ethiopia. They're holding elections in Tigray province despite the violence, and they're hoping that it will be peaceful. I don't know. We just have to wait and see what happens. California. I don't know if y'all know, but in California, they have the renters eviction protection moratorium. Well, that's going to expire at the end of this month. The lawmakers are trying to see whether or not it's possible to extend that moratorium.
Sugar boom boom.
Now, the thing is, California was allocated like billions. I think it was like $5 billion for renters eviction protection, where renters who needed help would get help, where the owners who needed to have rent paid so that they could pay off their mortgage and their bills and stuff would get help. And out of the billions, I believe it was $5 billion. Might have been more than that. I have to look at it again. But only like 666 million of that money was used. And actually only 60 point some million was actually spent. So where'd the money go? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Okay, historical event. On June the 23rd, 1865, at Fort Towson, Oklahoma, talked about this guy here earlier. The Cherokee general by the name of Stan Waddy. Stan Waddy, that's what his name was. He surrendered the last remaining Confederate Army troops to Union forces 2 months after Robert E. Lee, the slave owner, gave up at Appomattox. Okay, so this Cherokee general, he kept on fighting until June, after the war was over and Robert E. Lee surrendered. And, the majority of the rebel traitors are Cherokee, Seminole, and Osage Native Indians who joined the Confederacy. Okay, they thought they were going to get a better deal by joining the Confederates as allies. Remember, all these guys, all these natives were already on the reservations in Oklahoma, and when the Union pulled out of Oklahoma, the Confederacy moved in and told the tribes, like, look, join us, support us, we're going to give you a way better deal than what the Union was giving you. And so they did. Stan Waddy was actually the only native indigenous person who was appointed a general of the Confederate Army. And he was also a slave owner. He was also one of those who signed the Treaty of New Ochota, Georgia, in 1835, where they gave Cherokee land in Georgia to America. So that whole thing was started because they found gold. They discovered gold in Georgia. And all the Cherokee, I talked about this before, the Cherokee was probably the one tribe that was the most assimilated of all the tribes that was in close proximity to the whites. They had developed their own alphabet, and they had their own printing press. They were wearing white man's clothes. They were going to the white man's church. They worshipped everything white. They did everything they could to try to fit in and to assimilate with white society. And they even owned slaves. The Cherokee owned slaves. That's how much they was trying to be white. Like, let's own slaves just like the white man in Georgia. Well, once they discovered gold, all that trying to be white didn't mean nothing to the Americans. So they signed a treaty. This guy, Stan Waddy, was one of those who what they called treaty Indians, or they were the delegation that went to Washington, D.C., and they negotiated the treaty where they gave up all the land in Georgia to the Americans. And they sent them to Oklahoma, 15,000 of them. 4,000 of them died on what they call the Trail of Tears. And that was in 1838. And those who signed the treaty, the tribal leaders, including Stan Waddy, all of them got ambushed and assassinated, except for Stan Waddy. He was able to get away. Don't ask me how. They should have killed him too, but that's history. He got away, and eventually he ended up joining the Confederacy, became a general, and he was the last Confederate general to surrender to Union forces. I guess that in itself says something about him. I don't know. But, yeah, as y'all can see, I'm really biased about this whole thing.
Sugar boom boom.
I'm really biased about the whole thing. And, yeah, the militants decided they didn't like that. So during the Civil War, there was still open bloodshed, open things going on between those who opposed the treaty and those who supported the treaty, like Stan Waddy. Stan Waddy actually saw one of those who had killed, and his brother, Elias Boudinot, was one of those who was a treaty signer and had been killed. So Stan Waddy saw one of the dudes that killed his brother, so he killed him. And he claimed self-defense, so they let him go. But during the Civil War, those who were against the treaty, they joined the side of the North. And those that were treaty supporters, they fought on the side of the Confederacy, thinking they was going to get a better deal, which they did not. The irony is that those who supported the Union, they didn't even get a good deal after the war was over. White man was like cheating all of them, just like what they did to the Apaches. Remember I told you about the Apache Scouts, how the Americans took the Apache Scouts, disbanded them, and sent the Apache Scouts to prison along with Geronimo, who they helped capture. That shows you how they feel about Native indigenous people. So, that's what all that's about. And I am trying to end this quick because that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to do this quick. And anyway, it doesn't matter. Ed Nash, you are the only person on here. You know, you gave me a call, bro, and I called you back, but guess you wasn't free. I'm going to give you a call after this, Ed, because I did call you back. I guess you didn't see that I did call you back, but I called you back, bro. Anyway, let me do this. I get my little Mabuhay shout out and all that kind of stuff. Oh, well, hello there, Miss Paulette. How are you today? You got here right on time for me to be finished, I guess. That's what that is. Oh, man. Make this thing stand up. Am I? Okay, I guess I have to do it without all that. Okay, so, hey, y'all. I'm going to get up out of here. Bahala na. Remember when I told you Bahala na means what? What will be, will be. It is what it is. It's Filipino. That's what that means. But it's also, Bahala na means like if you fall down or you stumble or you run into a roadblock or whatever, you get back up and you keep on doing what you got to do. And that's Bahala na. And so here we go. Mabuhay. Mabuhay, that's Filipino for like long live. Ashe, Harambe, you know, Amanla Uetu, that's like, you know, from the motherland, from Africa. Que viva, you know, that's that Latin thing. Mahalo, you know, yeah, you know, that's island stuff, right? Shalom for the Jewish brothers and sisters. Namaste. For those of India and Pakistan, or I don't know, don't let me get twisted. Jayu for China. Hokahe for Native Indigenous people. Wakanda Forever from the movie. And yes, I know there is no Wakanda, but Wakanda is in the heart, so that's what I'm talking about. And assalamu alaikum, alaikum assalam, inshallah, for my Muslim brothers and sisters. And I don't know, I'll be forgetting, man, y'all. You know I'll be forgetting. But anyway, y'all, Bahala na. Everybody stay safe, stay strong. I hope y'all have a good day. I'm wearing a mask when I go outside, even though I really don't have to anymore, but I'm still wearing one. For those of you who choose to get vaccinated, right on. For those of you who choose not to get vaccinated, hey, that's your choice. But like, that's one of the reasons why I continue to wear masks, because I don't know who is actually vaccinated or not vaccinated. So I don't know, but yeah. Oh, I know. Does anybody know where the term Karen came from, or when did it come about? When did it originate? I know it's all about those who be calling the police on our people, but like somebody, I think I read something on Facebook or something that the Karen thing was when there was a Black Lives Matter demonstration, and these white folks came out of their home and was pointing guns at the Black Lives Matter demonstrators. So, yeah, so I'm just surprised that instead of calling them Karen, why they just didn't call them Barbie. Because, you know, that's a Barbie thing. I mean, they do run around talking about Ken, you know, the Barbie doll Ken. But they don't even use that so much as say male Karens. Anyway, that's just me. That's just a thought. Oh, I do want to show you one thing before I go. So this is something that I normally get all my information from. The police defend officers' actions in Denver a week ago. A month ago, Austin police shooting. A week ago, Chicago shooting. I don't know what is SAPD. I don't know who SAPD is, but videos of fatal officer involved shooting. I got this as killed by the police in 2021. Police shoot man who killed 3. Okay, well, if that's what he did, then that's what he did. Now, y'all remember Adam Toledo, 13 years old? This is the teenage girl that had a knife, was trying to kill somebody, and they shot her. The Austin police thing again. Video shows California sheriff shooting of black man. Now, I actually went on that to see what that was all about. Dude was jaywalking. And the cops were sitting in the car and their body cams was on, and they were like, is he going to jaywalk? And the other cops said, well, it looks like he's in a controlled intersection. He said, nah, you think so? Anyway, they got out the car and they got him, and dude was like, man, why you stopping me and all this stuff? So they threw him down on the ground, and another cop that was off the camera yelled, he's going for the gun, and they end up shooting him. So I don't know. More stuff, more. So I'm showing you guys this because I want you to know that I do actually get all my information about people who got killed by the police or people who are, doing things like that. I get it off this YouTube stuff. And this is a Stockton police officer, Jimmy N., who was killed while responding to a domestic violence thing. That's one thing about the police, man. They be going to situations and they end up getting killed. And I got nothing but, sympathy for them, because that's a hard, tough job. I mean, imagine you going over there because somebody having a fight with their girlfriend, their wife, their husband, or whatever, and then you end up getting killed trying to help somebody, stop somebody. That's Adam Toledo when he got killed in Chicago. The Juneteenth parade, somebody was killed 2 days ago. Damn. Anyway, and that's that cop there. They fired her, so now she's a former Minnesota police officer charged in the shooting of Dante. Honolulu, Hawaii, somebody was killed. Body cam footage, cop kneels on man until he dies. Anyway, y'all, so I'm just showing you guys all that because it's there and I want y'all to see it, but I'm going to get up out of here. Everybody's have a good day. Hope everybody's safe, and that's it. I need a haircut too. I always need a haircut. Hey, y'all, pray for me and mine, and I'm praying for you and yours, and just be safe out there. Peace.